Meredith is trying to figure out her love life in this love triangle she's in. Catherine is having a very hard time in her recovery, and we had a romantic yet very sad wedding on Valentine's Day. It's all coming up on the Grey's Anatomy After Show.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Just I have to keep going because I missed our little,
do a little jiggle.
Grey's intro. So
yes,
just keep going with that. Hello, everybody. So, like I said, we have a lot to talk about today: Catherine's recovery, Meredith's love triangle, and all of that. But I am LMarie, and I am here with my lovely panel.
Hi, guys. Elayna here, back again.
Hey, guys. It's Krista.
Hey, Chelsea Stark-Jones.
So, what were you guys' overall thoughts on this episode?
It was heavy. It was heavier than last week's Catherine's
Same thing I
episode.
said.
Yeah, it was very heavy, but and shocking.
Yeah.
They dropped a bomb on us. So,
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
It was real heavy, but it was also really good. This
Yeah.
is like one of the first Grey's episodes in a while that I got like super emotional. Even though we've had sad stuff happen before, but just the way they did everything and laid it out, it was really good. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, like I was saying, if I was at home, I would have been ugly crying. Like,
Yeah.
it was very emotional.
I cute cried.
Yeah, same. I was like, you gotta go soon.
I don't think it was that heavy, but I definitely agree with you that it was giving us the vibes of what we're used to and kind of getting us back in those emotions. So that part, and maybe that's why I didn't think it was heavy, because I was so excited that this is what really brought us in. I probably lost a little sight of the
It did. It felt like old Grey's.
It did.
Yeah.
So I was like so excited about that. And I was like, oh my gosh, like to see Meredith's red face, like, you know, when she's crying and she's trying to talk, I'm just like, oh, okay.
Yeah, back when
what
like
it is.
every week you'd tear up a little bit because each week was so good or so heartfelt every episode. So it felt like that again, where you're just like someone's story got brought into the episode that wasn't even main cast, and it just like you really felt it.
Yeah.
Which they used to do all the time. Yeah.
We miss like being connected to like those characters. I mean, we had Cece, but you know, before Cece even, it was like a while before we like had a character, you know, like you said, that wasn't a main character that we could relate to. So that was pretty nice. Okay, let's talk about Catherine and her recovery. So last week's episode was all about her surgery and everything. And unfortunately, they didn't get all of the tumor. And I wasn't here. You guys probably talked about that. But now we're going through her trying to, you know, recover, walk again and everything like that. And she's getting frustrated with it. How did you guys feel? Did you feel like that's how Catherine probably would have been reacting in her recovery?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, also, I think, too, that's how anyone would be. Like, I think being a caregiver and taking care of someone so close to you is really hard, and I think that's going to be really trying for Richard. But also, just allowing someone to take care of you in that way when you're very independent, like, that's hard to, like, give that release, you know? And so, she's already a stubborn woman as is, and so on top of that, like, I think it just adds extra layers. But, yeah, I mean, I kind of would like someone just, you know, take care of me, walk me up the stairs every once in a while, but that's just me. That's not Catherine.
True.
No, and she's also very stubborn too. So this is got to be so difficult for her. And also, I'm sure she's dying to get back into the OR. And
I thought you were going to say into the bed.
well, I mean, as we could tell, it seemed like that was an issue too. But yeah, I think it's just, like Weber said, you can't even imagine. So it's just, I'm sure she's got a lot of emotions going on.
Her recovery was hard for me, more so because we got the scope of how Avery was reacting to it.
Yeah.
And not only can we not imagine what Catherine's going through, but having to watch your mom, who's always been this independent woman, who's been so strong, who's been taking care of everyone else and figure everything else, like everything else out. That was kind of heart-wrenching for me to just watch him, especially when she was trying to
On the treadmill.
walk on the treadmill.
That was so
and
tough.
that hurt.
Yeah.
But what I can say is, although we know that Catherine's stubborn and she's not going to accept help, I also just thought that through her recovery, she would be a little more understanding with herself because she's a doctor.
Yeah.
You know what it is. You know what it takes. So I'm surprised at that element. Like, she's not trying to treat herself, basically. I'm just surprised about that.
Yeah. No, but I think that's like something that we see a lot with them when they're being treated as a patient as opposed to as the doctor. It's like they're so used to being in that role that it's hard to, you know.
Yeah. And like she said, she's like, I'm not average. So I think for her, she feels like I should be able to overcome this, you know, a little bit quicker. I should be, you know, better and more improved by this point and things like that. So I think it's just that in her head, she's like Superwoman and I should be, you know what I mean? Like I should have recovered in a second.
And like also being strong for everyone else, Avery, and Yeah,
but like you said, watching Avery watch her fall and then he just kind of had to walk away.
Yeah, he couldn't handle it.
He couldn't even like
which was so
run
tough
up to her.
watch.
I wouldn't have been able to handle it either. But I know we're not Team Mags here, but it was
I like
nice
how she's been
to see
handling it,
her being supportive.
Like I said last time too, it helps that she's been through it. So she, you know, she has a totally different perspective than someone who hasn't lost a parent could give. Yeah. So it's just,
Obsessed fangirl 1D13 in the chat. I wish April was there to support Jackson and Catherine.
Yeah,
so obviously people still aren't ready to let that
We're
go.
not ready to go with April.
But she has, Maggie's been doing, she's been doing what she can, and I
job.
think she just gives him enough love and attention, because if she like is overbearing, it's too much, but she's found like a really good middle ground, I think, with him.
I agree.
Yeah.
And it's helping them. You can really tell that he's loving the support because every time he's explaining something and she gets it,
He likes that.
His eyes twinkle a bit. He looks at her a little differently. Whereas before, he used to try to explain something to her, and she used to just be like,
she did not get
cold
it.
shoulder, don't understand. So it's nice to see them like that. I know a lot of people in the chat last week were saying that it's still very awkward.
Yeah.
So I didn't know that the whole panel was basically anti-Maggie. And here I was, and I was just so like, now they're bonding. They're over their mom.
No, this is making them grow closer. We just were all like, whoa, you just take April away, and now I gotta get used to this. But like slowly, they've been growing on me a bit, and this I think is gonna make them grow closer and like help us.
Yeah, and to those in the chat, like their chemistry just seems off to me. Like maybe it's just like the acting or
like
what,
this,
but it just seems so forced.
This episode, I didn't mind them. Like at the New Year's Eve party.
It was cute. The New Year's Eve party was cute.
Okay. Like I said, they're growing on me. You gotta keep giving it time.
We might like this.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But it's also because they're siblings. So
we're
at New Year's
That's what
Eve
really
dinner.
threw me off.
Game of Thrones, like siblings, not like real siblings.
Yeah. Okay, but explain the New Year's Eve dinner. You could really be here as my girlfriend, or you could
as your dad's daughter.
Yeah, no, it's weird. It definitely is. I don't know if I would want to place myself in that situation, but you know, love is what love is, I guess.
Speaking of the dinner, because we were talking about Catherine, I thought the cutest moment was her basically saying to Avery, "Oh, thanks for handling dinner," and he was like, "Well, we always do this.
Just order the catering service like
When do we make dinner?"
That was a really cute moment, and I love that her spirits are still high in that capacity.
Yeah. It's like even though she's frustrated, but she's not down and
Right.
It's like it's just more so like I can do this, you know. So yeah, that's a good thing.
It was sweet.
Ooh, so you know we talked about them dropping a bomb on us.
Yeah.
And it's been a while since we've had some twists and turns that we weren't expecting. I feel like we watched the show and it's like, oh, okay, we knew that was coming. But Little Miss Betty.
Oh, child. I was like, what was the bomb? Girl.
AKA Brittany. And I was not expecting that. And I was like, oh, what was she going to tell them? Because she's in her recovery. She's in rehab. So now she's going through the steps. And it's like the apology steps. So you have to kind of confess some things. So I wasn't expecting her to say that, like, that wasn't her real name.
Yeah. No.
And she'd been lying to them. And they're like, Owen and Amelia think that they're in contact with her parents. And they're not. So
Jerry.
I just like, she's like, wait, I've been talking to your parents. Like, nah.
Yeah, no, I totally thought when she was like, I have to apologize. She's like, I'm sorry for taking advantage of you guys and for ditching school to do drugs or like whatever. And I was like, okay, good for you, Betty. And when she dropped, like, my name's Brittany, I'm like, wait, what?
Wait, were you really surprised though?
Oh, I was.
I wasn't.
That's what I was going to say.
I was like, you guys should, I didn't know for sure. Her lying about her name, sure. The parents thing, it's also, you never were able to fully confirm that. So and there's a child, a baby involved. You have to be so careful with your emotions. That kid is not yours. And you acting like it is. So someone's going to get hurt. But also, I wasn't expecting it to be like that big of a bomb drop where literally if the grandparents find out, baby goes. But you got to be careful. You just picked her up off the street.
But like they said, they thought they had been talking to her parents.
Yeah, that doesn't help.
So then it's like, so this is kind of okay. We're not going through the proper channels, but
and they said social services have been involved. But you think social services would have checked that out?
That's what I'm saying.
Like
something about it just doesn't seem right. And for Betty, Brittany, Brett, I'm gonna call her Brett.
Brat. We're gonna call her Brat.
For her. She's always seemed like she's holding back. And I know that could be her acting as if it's a symptom of addiction. But I can't trust her. And I never could. And nothing against her being addicted, just
she's a teenager with...
Yeah.
Yep.
So when she came out and said, I need to apologize for you something, I was like, okay, here comes a bomb. Did not expect that bomb, but wasn't surprised that it was such a big bomb.
Like that magnitude.
Yeah, because it was like... And even earlier, she was like, I miss drugs
more than my child.
More than her kid.
Yeah.
She's like, but I miss Leo a bit.
Right. I was like,
And Amelia's like, at least you're being honest about it.
Bravo.
No. Like,
Not okay.
Not okay.
Not okay.
Not at all.
But I'm not really feeling Owen like looking into the grandparents. Like I kind of would rather him just like skip over and try to adopt the baby. But I guess maybe
I know. How does that work? Because she's underage, so wouldn't.
Yeah, I guess he would have to go through the...
I don't know. I don't know the laws with that.
The child would, because of the grandparents are available.
Yeah.
The child would have to go with the grandparents first.
Yeah.
They would get like first. I don't want to say first dibs, but
yeah,
that's how it would be.
Even if because it's not like she was emancipated, so it's
Right.
not like she could say legally, I don't want my parents. Yeah, I don't know. That's gonna be quite the situation.
Yeah, it's gonna be real sticky.
But if she's the legal guardian,
so she could give it.
They could fight it if they wanted to.
Yeah, they can
especially
fight it,
because they have tried and social services were involved. So both the government and Amelia and Owen didn't know that Jerry was her friend and not her parents.
Quite the
you know what I mean?
Battle. Yeah.
It could happen, but of course they're not going to go into it that way.
Yeah.
This is gonna get messy.
It is gonna get
In my mind, though, okay, kill me. Because in my mind, I kept thinking, well, at least Owen's having an actual baby.
Yeah.
And that was terrible.
There's another one.
I know, that was terrible, but I was like, he's gonna lose Leo, but...
And what happens to him and Amelia? Because I feel like this is what brought them together. So now...
Yeah. No, I agree with you with that too. When that came up, I was like, well, he still has a child and he's still going to have that. But I mean, if you raise this kid since he was a baby,
it's his son.
He got attached to him.
Yeah. But you know what, guys? Before we move on to our next topic, we just wanted to say thank you so much for making us the ESPN of TV talk. For us to continue to grow, we could use your help. If you're on YouTube right now, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. And if you're on iTunes, please give us a 5-star rating. But no matter where you are, leave us a comment so you can get involved in the conversation. Being a part of AfterBuzz TV has meant so much to all of us, and we truly appreciate your support and us doing what we love. So don't forget to tell your friends and keep enjoying our shows.
Yes.
So much. And we love everyone's conversations in the chat. It's
you guys are
very
great.
entertaining.
I check in throughout the week, so please leave comments because I love it. I'm like, what are they saying?
Agreed.
Man. So let's kind of staying on Owen, switch to Owen and Amelia. Then I want to get to Owen and Teddy. But Owen said some pretty harsh things about people and their behaviors with addiction. And I think when someone doesn't really understand it, they kind of place blame on things. Like he said, like the things that Betty was doing, lying and being deceitful, like that just seems more of an excuse.
His poor decisions.
Which I get what he was saying. I wouldn't have worded it the same way, but like someone who hasn't, doesn't have those addiction problems, that's how you're going to look at it because you don't understand. But I was like, you could have worded it a little different.
I think in the moment, he probably
was frustrated.
Also that Amelia has gone through the same thing.
I think that's exactly what it was.
Yeah.
Like he was so caught up in it himself that he forgot who he was speaking to and that backstory, and he just word vomit.
In different situations. Same. Yeah.
He was definitely speaking from a painful place, which I get, but also for Owen and Amelia's sake, we don't want him to be unaware of the things that you were saying. Like, yes, you're hurting right now. Yes, it's a possibility that Leo may be getting taken away. However, if you're in this relationship, be aware of who you're talking to. Be aware that I am the woman that you are choosing to be with, and I too have made those same piss poor decisions.
Yeah.
So from a relationship standpoint, it was kind of unacceptable and it pissed me off a bit. But from the aspect of a parent about to lose their child, I get it.
Yeah. It was a tough moment.
It was.
Yeah.
It was very uncomfortable.
Yeah. Speaking of uncomfortable, I don't like Owen and Amelia having moments. Like,
I know.
They said, oh, it's snowing, and they stood out in the snow. And
Oh,
it was
Owen
like
and
snowfall.
Teddy, yeah.
And then,
yeah,
Teddy.
Amelia.
I was like, wait, what?
I knew who you were talking about, though. I'm like, in the snow,
Sorry,
Teddy?
Yeah.
We
Owen and
got you.
Teddy. And then, he was at the appointment for the first sonogram, I guess, and they're hugging and everything. And I'm just
it. Yeah, well,
no,
Daddy's
not
got to
here
be there for that appointment.
He's got to be there, but he doesn't have to be all sentimental with her.
I love the moments.
I'm with you.
He has
I
a
do
girlfriend.
too.
No, sorry.
I felt like the snow moment was kind of awkward because they know their friendship isn't going to be the same as what it used to be before when they would go out and stand in the snow together. But like,
I like the ultrasound.
Yeah, and I think to me it's more so that they are realizing that they're going to be a friendship parenthood combination.
All right.
But you
are
got
they,
to
though?
co-parent, so I get coming to the
Are they,
doctor
though?
And I think
appointments.
Karasik is really doing his work with Teddy.
Well, that is
They grew
I-
on me today.
That is
I am
believable.
with that. Yeah,
I
I'm
like
all
them
about
better
that.
than her and Owen.
Yeah,
Okay.
so do I.
Wait a minute. The same people who are like, bring April back. So all of a sudden we're going to throw away Owen and Teddy's history.
No,
I don't
I'm not going to
necessarily
throw it
want
away.
April back, but
I
yeah,
want them to
don't-
be friends, and I want...
Yeah, I never liked Teddy and Owen together.
With them being friends, it's so awkward because they have those moments like the moments in the snow. They have natural connection.
Yeah.
And it's weird. Okay, so here's going to be a little word vomit for me. I just spoke about how Owen was so unaware when he was speaking to Amelia. But when he had that moment in the snow with Teddy, he was so aware of how she may feel about him telling her his New Year's Eve plans.
Yeah.
And he was like, don't worry, we're going to have traditions of our own, et cetera, et cetera. You were aware of how you could have made her feel in that moment. And it's like, oh my God, like, you think properly when you're with her.
He's also
angry.
doing that because she's pregnant and he knows how uncomfortable she's got to feel. And there's just so many mixed feelings. So I think he's tiptoeing around everyone.
I think they're done. Like, I don't think there's anything for you to...
I don't know.
Yes, I don't think it's gonna
You don't think they're
happen.
ever gonna come back?
It's just like we've heard the story between them so many times.
True.
It's like I'm tired of it. I feel like it's played out, and I think
Same here.
Teddy being with Karasik and like having him like treating her well while she's pregnant, like that's
Yeah.
like
Don't you think
it's-
Owen's going to get a little jealous?
He
when
already
he's,
is.
Yeah.
Did you see
So
when?
I think Amelia
that
and
might
him,
be an issue, too.
I think they think it's like, I mean, we would think it's weird
Yeah.
if you see your friend going out with Karasik on Valentine's Day, you'd be like, girl, wait, what?
But I think part of that for him might be a little like, jealousy.
Like this guy?
Yeah.
The first thing I wrote in my notes was Meredith isn't the only one in a love triangle.
Yeah.
Because the whole Valentine, I got a date kind of switch. Amelia and Owen looked at each other, then they looked and they were like, it's
okay.
it's gonna get awkward.
It is, definitely.
And Owen's gonna lose his temper because he's a child. When it comes to him, when it comes to him managing his anger, he's such a child.
He is bad with anger. Yes.
We have Mikey Sorrentino in the chat saying he thinks it's going to be like a Mark and Callie kind of thing between
Could you imagine?
between Teddy and
Oh my
Owen.
goodness.
They would still hook up from time to time.
Yeah, no,
so-
they would.
I mean, but once Arizona came in the picture, it wasn't.
Yeah,
like
they did
that,
stop once
you know?
Arizona was
Yeah,
in the
but-
picture.
But they were really
call her
They were
California.
really crossing those lines.
they also were like really just friends.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
true. And they only did it to hook, like,
To have
hook
sex.
up.
Yeah, true.
Whereas Teddy and Owen have
history.
not even history, they have feelings. Like
Yeah.
they may suppress them and move on, but had the stars lined up, they would be together.
And I think
love
that is
Mikey
what
on
bothers
this
me
one.
because they have feelings and now like you're going through this thing together, which
you
is going
chose-
to bring those feelings up and out.
Yeah.
And that's what I don't like.
Yeah, I think it's done. If they do this storyline again with them trying to make it work,
Yeah.
like I will literally kill myself. Like I'm just tired of it.
I think that's where they're going. But let's go.
I tried. I was like, wait, that's really dark.
Let's go to this next love triangle with Meredith, DaLuca, and Link.
Andrew is really,
Hot? No, go ahead.
he is really taking a position.
Yeah.
Right?
Like the love I thought it was going to be more of a love triangle. It really wasn't.
No.
Link was barely a part of it.
Yeah.
He didn't fight at all.
Not at all.
He doesn't know though. Give the man a chance.
He also doesn't know how like pushy. DaLuca was like, you have no other choice. Get up on this roof.
Yeah.
And I was like, she's got a date waiting.
I was hoping that she would be like, okay, this was great. Gotta go to my
Gotta go.
date.
Yeah.
Or call him.
Yeah.
Like anything. You basically just did what you did to DaLuca.
And I got mad at DaLuca for like putting her in the situation that he was upset with her for, like, or whatever.
Which he did on purpose.
Yeah, that's how he did it on purpose. It was like a get back.
But I liked his aggressiveness toward at the beginning. But I think it was when after he said she was a doormat, or that he wasn't good. After that, there was a moment. Oh, when Garrett like broke down, and he was like, "How can you tell someone to fight when you're not fighting for us?" And he like was really pushy. I was like, "Okay, this is too much."
He was like,
Yeah.
fight for love. And in my mind, I was like, yeah, but where's the love at?
Yeah, you guys even got been
like
flirting
you
for
guys
2 minutes.
Yeah.
Like y'all had a moment, but
Is it really love?
Are you in love, DaLuca, already? Because then we've got other issues.
So
I think he is.
When she didn't feed into it, like, Meredith is something else. Literally, that very moment, right after that, asked Link out to dinner. And I'm just like, you do it, girl.
in my
Also,
notes, I was like, savage.
Yeah, and if I was DaLuca, I'd be like, fine, F you then. Yeah, I'm gonna go and but no.
He was just like, I mean, but okay, it's so normal at this point that they're toasting at a party because they both got stood up. Like, they can't fight for her attention. So now I'm just like, what do I do?
So, I mean, are you guys more Team Link or Team DaLuca then? After tonight? Because tonight I was more DaLuca.
I was tonight, but
tonight.
only because they ended up on the roof together and she had I don't know, but I feel like Link needs...
Yeah, I'm still
I don't
Team
know.
DaLuca because I like how assertive he is when it comes to
Yeah.
Meredith, and he knows like, okay, there is a little bit of I like it. Like, there is a little bit of competition.
You like
in the
that?
eyes.
He really pushed... Yeah.
Yeah, and
he
then
gets
he's
in
like,
there and he's assertive.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like he even told her like he was like, why are you leading Link on? It's like that's not gonna happen.
I thought that was hot.
That was
turned
cute.
me on.
And
Yeah,
I did
that was
like
cute.
when he speaks into his language and it brings the spice.
Oh, yeah.
That is sexy. However, I prefer Link for Meredith. I think he's a better candidate.
Interesting.
And you also have to realize when DaLuca and Meredith got into a little argument in the hallway and he was basically fussing her about something, and she was like, I'm a mom and I have a big girl job and blah blah blah.
It's true.
She was-
DaLuca's younger.
Right.
A lot younger.
She was like, I have 3 kids, and he was like, sometimes he was like, soon then or something. Do you guys remember that part?
He was like, you're making it an excuse, or that was a moment that really pissed me off.
That
'cause he was
pisses me
making
off.
an excuse. Like, why are you making so many excuses?
No, not that one. So before the excuse moment, he was like, we need to go out, and she was like, yeah, you
When
know.
she
It's kinda
asked
hard for me, yeah.
for drinks.
Yes.
The first interaction.
interaction.
New Year or Christmas Eve, sorry.
And he was, and he ignored it and said soon though. In my mind, you want to be with this woman, you incorporate yourself into her family life.
True.
Well,
Go
why don't
over
I?
there like Link
why don't I
did.
come over, bring whatever for the kids? He didn't do that. He just like discarded it. So what is it going to turn into when if they date?
That is true.
That was one of my first notes where I was like, with this love triangle, Link is the more like settle down and have a family with candidate, and
Which we've
DaLuca
seen.
is the more fun one. Like, so
Link is fun.
I don't know. I
Link
don't see
was fun
that
at the birthday party.
He's
I
like
thought it was
goofy
fun.
dad fun.
Yeah.
He's not
Yeah, I
like
see
sexy
that.
hot fun.
Yeah.
Okay, I agree.
maybe we
I
can-
I think
agree.
Link and DaLuca are just two different...
They really are.
I can't even
Yeah.
put them in the same category, so it's like, I don't... It's just
It's
hard.
hard.
Link
It's
is also
like-
taller.
Yeah, a lot of people. It's like pretty
The
mixed
Italian makes up
in.
for the height.
It's pretty mixed in the chat too. Brave Unicorn says still Team Link. Sebastian Team DaLuca. Who else do we got? Obsessed Fangirl 1D13 DaLuca, and then Chloe Butler Team Link. So it's all over the place.
It is pretty
And
split.
I think if they start to get serious, Meredith and DaLuca, she can train him into the family.
him.
Yeah,
Train
he's still
him.
young.
See what I'm
He needs
saying?
to be
Mare
trained.
needs to pick. This is the problem. This was the same with Mare and her vet and Derek, and then
True.
both of them were like, done.
No, no, but here's also what changes it. Derek was able to keep up with Meredith's
That's
mood
true.
swings and her her tantrums.
That couldn't.
DaLuca showed us an aggressive side tonight, yes, but do y'all really think that who he is would be able to handle Meredith?
I don't know. Is
I
that?
don't
Are
know.
we still on the same Meredith though? I feel like she's.
I think
We haven't
he
seen.
can.
I mean,
Yeah, and right, we're like not saying anything.
I don't know.
I think
Meredith's still that same person though. Is she still as mood swingy as she was in like earlier episodes and like out of control where Derek needed
I don't think
now that she's like mom Meredith.
Much. Yeah, like now that she's dealt with Derek's death and like all that, I think she's a little bit less.
She's still high strung.
Yeah.
And then when he called her out, it was more. I mean, it was needed. Like you did, like he said, you have a phone. You could have called the patient.
Yeah.
It wasn't an emergency surgery, or you know what I mean. Where it's like I have to drop everything. She just was staying and caring for the patient. So you could have been considerate and let him know, like, hey, I'm not gonna make it.
Now she's doing that with Link, and there is no patient emergency. You're just on the roof with another guy.
That was a jerk move.
Yeah,
by both of them.
I agree with that moment. But what about the moment when he basically called her a child? He was like, I used to think that you were out of my league, but now you're not. And maybe that's why I'm Team Link. That kind of was just like...
Yeah, that was a low blow.
Yeah,
that was.
He started off like a sexy aggression, like, oh, I like that you're chasing me. And then it got to a point where it was
and
like...
I think it's because he's young, and that's how it's... a lot younger than her, so he's just like a guy that wants what he wants, and he's just saying some stuff that you shouldn't be saying to Mama Bear. Yeah.
I do like their name though, Mereluca.
I
It
don't know.
sounds
Link's
like
in
a
Meredith's
destination.
That does
I wanna
sound
go
like
to.
an island in the Caribbean.
Mereluca for vacation.
They're like
She's not into it. Elaine was like,
Merca.
What's Link's real name?
Lincoln.
Lincoln.
I'll be back next week with a name.
We'll be waiting.
We will be waiting.
I'm sure chat will help you out.
Oh man, I want to get to the topic that had me in my ugly cry. So the patient Natasha and her husband, we saw them last week or the week before.
It was like 2 weeks ago.
Like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And they were supposed to get married, and she came down with an illness, and so she was recovering. When they opened the episode, she had been in a coma for about a month, but she finally woke up, and it seemed like she was getting better, but then she regressed, and things just went to hell, unfortunately. But I mean, shit.
There's no better way to put that.
Like, man, it was so sad.
It went happy and then it went real sad.
It was beautiful at the same time to see her husband, or soon-to-be husband, like really kind of fight. And that's what DaLuca was talking about. Like, he saw the fight that he had in him for their relationship and for his love for her, which was like so sad. How did you guys feel about that character, those two characters?
Well, they definitely were meant to be. There's no arguing that. That was adorable, and I loved them.
I definitely cried. I started to cry when Garrett broke down to Meredith. Like, my eyes kind of got a little bit watery, but then it really, like, tears dropped when the stars and everything.
Oh, take me off the ventilator. I was like, don't you dare.
Right.
Keep her on.
I was like, there's not other option.
She's so strong, Natasha. And
I would be a way weaker person.
No, but I think when we were talking about what we miss and what used to happen, I think it's the characters. It's the characters who come into the hospital, who are on their deathbed, and the texture that they bring.
Yes, because we can't imagine it. I could never imagine what they're going through. So watching like how everyone reacts, and it's insane.
And she also gave little gems to Meredith. And I was like, yes, I'm here for it. Like pick the one who stops time for you. Yeah. Which, by the way, DaLuca did not stop the time. Just throwing that out there. But anyway.
He's younger, so he brings her back in time.
But that gem.
We're taking it literally.
when she said that to Meredith, literally, those little things
it's
are
all
what
those
get
moments.
me.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it just, you get like the Meredith's best acting during something. Not she's always terrific, Ellen Pompeo. But when in those scenes, especially when it's like patient interaction with her, it's just that everything was, Natasha was such a good actor. That scene was just all of them.
Yeah.
Her, Garrett, everyone did such a good job.
And you
so
immediately go back to the hospital where she found out that Derek died, because her trying to help him get through it, help him get through, like, to fight for Natasha. I'm like, listen to her. She been there. She's been there. She's done it.
Yeah.
That's Mikey in the chat. He said, when she dies, I die, had me hurting because it reminded me of what Meredith kept saying to Derek.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Wow, I got chills.
I know.
There was
a
lot of moments today like that related back to Derek, with the quote for "Who turns back time for you," and then
Her saying, I know how
I
it
forgot
feels.
how she was like when he was dying. That's what she was saying.
Yeah. But no, that story really, it made me sad. I wasn't expecting to fall in love. Like, because I liked Cece, but This was different. Yeah, this hurt me.
It was
a
a
bit
perfect
more.
Valentine's Day episode.
Well, that's what was interesting. So I remember getting a sneak peek and wondering how is it going to be Christmas and New Year's
and
I was
Valentine's.
like, so
Interesting,
why are we
yeah.
at Christmas?
Yeah, I was
Wait,
just like,
now it's February.
I was like, next week's Valentine's, what's happening? Not realizing they were going to tie in the Valentine's episode with this one. But then it wasn't until Schmidt started calling out how many days she's been in the hospital that I was like, oh crap.
That's why.
Like it started and you were only here for 60 days maybe, and now we're at day 84.
Yeah.
It did make me, because when we had the mid-season finale, I was like, why didn't we do a Christmas episode? Like, that's weird, and this explained it.
Yeah. So like, oh, okay, I get it now.
I like that.
But for me, when Joe was like, oh, Alex has an idea. So I thought he had some last minute, like, Hail Mary to save her. Yeah,
romantic
but
Alex.
then it was like, right, like the wedding.
Alex.
Right, Alex of all people.
Yeah.
He's grown so much. But like the wedding of their dreams, like they gave them that. And like with the stars, everyone had their phone
The
out.
dress.
Just the dress.
Right, just
I thought
lays
it was
it on
so
her.
beautiful, right?
It was sweet.
Oh my
Also,
gosh.
Alex has been in quite a few hospital weddings now. So
True.
Yes, I know how
he
he knows.
has experience.
He
He
knows.
can basically plan hospital weddings
I'm
at this
really
point.
curious to know how you guys feel, and maybe you didn't notice it, maybe I was the only one, but how do you guys feel about his salt and pepper beard?
Oh, yeah. What?
When did you
Is he
get
getting
that old?
Because his face isn't showing it, but his hair is.
I
didn't even pay attention.
But we gotta think he's been on since, what,
But Grey, I mean, Meredith doesn't have,
I know.
she still looks like she's
You're hiding her, Grace.
Because he's probably like, what am I gonna do, diet?
Right.
My thing is, it was around the time when they were trying to tell Meredith she was in a love triangle, and the camera went to him, and I just saw a sparkle on his chin, and I was like,
Maybe I have to pay attention
Right?
next
Next
week.
week
I
when
didn't
you-
notice
He is
that.
getting older, our Alex.
I feel like his head's always down, so like I don't like pay attention.
I mean,
to
still
him.
beautiful, just getting older.
Yeah.
hey, look, I love it. He looks
yeah.
great.
Yeah, I love
He's
the
a
salt and
fox.
pepper look. All right, like
Wow. Okay.
We gotta type.
Okay then. She growled and everything.
all right now. Let's take a break from all this.
I do
Go
love
ahead.
Ben Salt and Pepper. When Ben started gutting Salt and Pepper, I loved him.
That was yeah.
and I love that he's back.
Speaking of them,
Oh my gosh, yes, and how did I forget about them? They're not even.
thank goodness you brought them
Yes,
up.
thank goodness.
I loved everything about them this
Yeah,
week.
I did
Same.
too.
I'm so glad that he's back and that he,
That he came
once
back.
again came back and called her out too, called Bailey
I
out.
missed that.
You know, like
Yeah, he was kind of like, I'm gonna be here, but you can't do this ever again.
You can't call quits
Yeah.
again. You
Yeah.
know, but also like calling her out, but at the same time, because it's a relationship and it always takes two people when whatever you're going through, you
Be
know. So
honest.
he also acknowledged his fault in the situation. Like, I didn't recognize, you know, your behaviors and your triggers and things like that. And I've seen it before, so I should have recognized it. I should have followed through on my promises to you with the things that I was going to do. So I like that he called her out, put her in her place as well. Like, this is what you did wrong, but then this is also what I did.
And then,
That's
and then
mature.
took action.
And then
Yes.
took action.
Built that treehouse.
Do you have a little brother, Ben? I'm asking for myself.
Right, he's building her a grown adult treehouse in the backyard.
Right.
Where do you get a man like that?
I mean, I do
TV.
have a question though. Is it really a booty call when it's your husband?
Yes.
Yeah,
It
especially
is?
if you're going through a separation.
Okay. I
Yeah.
wasn't sure.
Why?
Because especially
Well, because she was talking to Teddy, and she's like, maybe I'll call him after, you know,
At
the
that
ball
point,
drops.
yeah,
Yeah.
it
Because
totally
you
would
kicked
have
him
been.
out.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
walked away, and then I was like, hey, babe. I'm
Yeah.
horny.
I
What you
would've
got?
been
It's
so
New Year's.
sensitive. I
Big
totally would have not thought twice about it. But
I mean, it's like, you know, a classier booty call, right?
Yeah, it is.
okay.
But you are separated.
yeah.
okay. Well,
And like he felt like a little bit of a booty
Yeah.
call, or you know what I mean, or you just call me when you need me type
Yeah,
of thing. And she was like, "Oh, come home, the fence
your
blew
husband.
over."
Yeah.
No,
I
that's
was
not
like,
how she
you don't,
says
you
it.
don't lead with that, girl.
This episode, I really realized her cry for help voice. Oh,
Yeah. She stutters.
and I'm like, what is this voice, Miranda? Please.
Please come back.
Oh no! Oh, I know. I was like, what is happening here?
It's Miranda Week, which we're not used to
not used
hearing.
to it
So
at all.
it's like, wait, what?
It's like, huh?
What did these writers do to Bailey?
They gave her anxiety.
They did. Oh, poor Bailey. But I am glad to see that. I'm glad Ben is back. He's back in the house. Yes.
Yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and get into our special segment. We have a new special segment this week.
Whoa!
Called Grey's Anatomy.
Yes.
Now, we were telling you guys about this segment where we'll just choose like memes that we see online that kind of relate to the show. So we have a few this week.
We finally titled it.
Yeah, we finally have a name for it. So our first one is, this one's from Olivia, that's right.
Yes, thank you for sending them in, you guys.
Yes, thank you so much for sending them in. So Olivia is the one that she sent, said, I worked at a bar. A girl came in, got real hammered. She started crying and telling me about someone dying. It was someone from Grey's Anatomy. She had literally came to drink away the loss of her fictional friend. And I felt that. Like, I really felt that.
I've done that, yeah.
Like, honestly, on this episode, I feel like we feel that with Natasha.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
that's how I felt after Derek, for sure.
I felt like that after Christina.
Oh, that too. Yeah, I was like, she didn't even die.
Yeah,
but I felt like my bestie just left.
Me.
Yeah.
But she left.
That happy dance.
And I was just like, the hell am I going to do?
My person. Yeah.
I'm with you. Christina was the one for me.
Wait, I really like that meme though. Every time my favorite character dies, drink right to the
drink this away, drink this pain away. So then we have another one, which is I really like. It's like, stop trying to make Merlink happen. It's not gonna happen. Like, stop trying to make fetch happen.
I feel attacked right now. Who sent this one in?
LMarie.
Because I feel attacked. And Merlink, who made... No. We will have a better name next week. Not here for it.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so we'll have some more memes for you guys next week. And once again, put them in the comments or all of our... you can DM us with some if you guys find them. Let's go ahead and get into some news.
AfterBuzz TV News.
All right. So, what we know, I thought we were going to get it this week, but it's been, we kind of mentioned this about Jennifer Grey, that we thought it was going to be, she was going to be cast as Joe's mom. So, didn't it look like in the previews, though, they looked like they were going to be Betty's parents?
Yeah, someone just mentioned that in the chat. That it looks
so
like
I think we've been bamboozled, and it's going to be Betty's parents. So either way, Jennifer Grey is going to be in next week's episode as someone's parents, probably Betty / Brittany's. Yeah. Also, Derek's fourth sister is going to be introduced. We don't know when, right?
We don't know when, but his fourth sister, Catherine, or no, I'm sorry, his fourth
Katarina.
No.
The main one?
The
nice
Katarina-driven
I
hour.
don't know, because I was just trying to think about...
Did we
I'm missing
meet
a sister.
Katarina?
No,
Excuse me.
I don't even remember the main
Kathleen. I'm sorry, Kathleen. We haven't met Kathleen, but we've met his other sisters, his other two sisters. She's known as Kate, Kathleen. But we've met before Nancy Shepherd.
Yes.
And Liz Shepherd.
Which one did Nev Campbell play?
I believe Liz.
And then the other one, I can't remember both their storylines, but one just came into like before him and Meredith were like officially together, right? Yeah.
So we're not sure in what capacity. We don't know who's cast as her, but apparently this is going to be a very Amelia-centric episode, and this fourth sister is going to come into play somehow. So hopefully soon.
Oh, I hope Amelia doesn't like fall off the wagon or anything with all this stuff going on.
Yeah, this might be who's
possibility.
cast as her, because it says TV Guide said that Grey's Anatomy is bringing in Michelle Forbes for a new mystery role, and she's brunette and looks like all the other sisters. So maybe. We'll have to find out.
I look forward to Amelia-centric episode.
Yeah.
Me too. I miss the
excited about
Shepherds.
that.
Yeah, me too.
It's going to be good.
I miss Derek. All right, let's go ahead and get into predictions.
Your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
So I just kind of let one out a little bit with like that Amelia thing around that episode, like with the sister coming back, because I feel like what other reason would she kind of come in but besides to help her sister?
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that I'm wrong, because I don't want Amelia to fall off the wagon, but I think like it's after a lot of stress and with all these situations going on with her, it might happen.
Yeah, because there's no other reason for her to really come back at this point.
No,
To see the kids.
that's true.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I forgot.
They're her nieces and nephews. They're her family. To see her sister.
Her niece and nephew.
What I will say is I'm going to give myself false hope. So my prediction is that Leo gets to stay with Owen and Amelia.
I hope so.
And the grandparents meet him, but then they're like,
I don't like him.
something like that. So we're gonna work that out. That's my prediction.
I think there's gonna be some drama, but I'm really hoping that he gets to keep him. But
they're
gonna be mean to me or something, and he's gonna get taken.
I think that he's gonna stay with
I hope so.
Owen.
I hope so too.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah. We also forgot The Cure, but I think everyone's was the one where Kiss the One Who Turns Back Time for You, and that was like everyone's in the chat
It
too.
was,
so. Yeah.
Sorry, this extra special segment kind of threw me off.
And
with
we
that.
just had
But
so much to talk about.
Yeah. And I don't know, when you were writing it down, I was like, okay, you can have that one. I
looked at you all and I was like,
classic. Like, yeah. Okay, well, we'll have all of our segments together next week. So until then, make sure you guys come back same time, same place, and join us for the Grey's Anatomy After Show. I am your host, LMarie, and you can find me on Instagram and on Twitter at LMarieTV.
Elayna checking out, and you can follow me on all social platforms at hey_it's_lay.
Hey guys, it's Krista Flentje, and you can find me all over social media at Krista Flentje.
And guys, I am Chelsea Stark Jones. You can find me on Instagram at C_S Jones and online at ChelseaStarkJones.com.
Bye, guys.
Until next time.
Bye.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz, see you later.
AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.